Hello, everyone. By now, I think you know the basics of carrying out class observation. That's why this video is going to be about testing and assessing your knowledge regarding the process of carrying out class observation. You will watch a class delivered by me that was a few years ago. Okay. Um, Please watch the video and I want you to write a report on the video you will watch. In this report, I want you to describe the teacher's instructional behavior. Also, I want you to interpret the teaching. And three, I want you to generate a list of alternative ways to teach the aspect of the lesson differently. These, I think, these relate to the steps of carrying out a class observation, except for the first step, which was collecting data. Here, you already have the data videotaped, and you need only to analyze, then reflect, then interpret, then generate different ideas. Also, while carrying out the task, please keep in mind, do not be judgmental and do not be prescriptive, and try to describe the class. And finally, I want you to think of different possibilities to try out in the class you will watch. Thank you very much in advance. Enjoy watching.
So today I'll be talking about tone and writing. Anyone familiar with tone and writing? Have you ever heard of tone and writing? Okay. Okay. So
It's okay.
tone of writing is the emotion of a piece of writing. As in your writing, you express your ideas. So technically, your ideas include emotions, and for emotions, we have different types of emotions, such as happiness, seriousness, being humorous in your writing, and being sad, or being threatening, like when you write, you threat someone, or formal, or even optimistic. These are just examples of the tone of writing. To be more clear, all of us are familiar with the tone and voice, right? Like when we speak, our tone expresses what we feel. So for example, if you're angry, your tone is a bit, gives an idea about what you feel, right? If you are happy, people can feel your happiness in your tone. If you are impatient, right? Even sometimes when we talk to each other and we don't like the other person, we say just, I don't like his tone, right? So technically, the tone of your writing is the same as the tone of your voice, except it's on paper. Does it make sense? Yes. Good. So how can you create a tone of voice in your writing? I gave you this, so in these extracts, just written extracts, samples. We will read together and see what you tell me. This writing is. So, please. So the first paragraph, he says, there was a steaming mist in all of the hollows, and it had droned in its forlornness up the hill, like an evil spirit, seeking rest and finding none. A clammy and intensely cold mist, it made its slow way through the air in ripples that visibly followed the over spread on another. As the waves of unhollow some sea might do, it was dense enough to shut out everything from the light of the coastlines. But these, its own workings, and a few yards of road, and the reek of the laboring horses steamed into it as if they had made it all. So, of course, before starting detecting the tone of this, we can detect the tone depending on the adjective, the words the writer uses. But what kind of adjectives? And of course, this is subjective. You know, like from person to person, maybe you can, even when I speak, for somebody, I'm okay. For another person, I sounded angry, right? So in writing, like in detecting tone of a piece of writing, it's subjective. From one person is different from one person to the other. So maybe, like if I say this piece of writing is, let's say, sad, maybe you'll find it not sad. Maybe it's happy. Maybe it's something else, right? So it depends. So depending on this, and this is like personal opinion, if you take a look on the words, steaming mist, forlornness, then spirits, and clammy, cold, slow, unwholesome sea, dense, reek. What kind of tone do you detect in this piece of writing? First of all, anyone, are you or all of you familiar with these words like forlornness, clammy? Forlornness is a kind of coldness. Clammy is wet, cold. Unwholesome sea is nauseous, unwelcome sea, like troubling sea. Dense, I think you know that dense. The reek is the stink, like unpleasant smell. So depending on these adjectives, what kind of tone can we detect? Scary. Sorry?
Scary.
And maybe something else. You can say that it's kind of cold and mysterious, right? It's like mist, steaming mist, forlornness, cold sometimes, spirit, clammy, unwholesome sea. So it's mysterious tone. And this is still, maybe you find something else. But this, let's say, this is personal opinion. From one person to the other is just different. Okay. Of course, this was taken from Charles Dickens. You're familiar with Charles Dickens, right? There's another piece of writing. This is the second paragraph on your handout. So let's read together. On an evening in the latter part of May, a middle-aged man was walking homeward from Shaston to the village of Marlett, and the adjoining vale of Blackmore. The pair of the legs that carried him were rickety, and there was a bias in his gait, which inclined him somewhat to the left of the straight line. He occasionally gave a smart nod, as if in confirmation of some opinion, though he was not thinking of anything in particular. An empty egg basket was slung upon his arm. The nap of his hat was ruffled, a patch being quite worn away. At its brim, where his thumb came in taking it off. Presently, He was met by an elderly person astride on a great mirror, who, as he wrote, hummed a wandering tone. So again, if you look at this piece and these adjectives, rickety, bias, inclined, the left of the straight line, empty, ruffled, worn away, astride, wandering tone. First of all, you get what he talks about, right? He's describing a person. So what do you think these adjectives, like in red, express? What kind of tone can you detect from these adjectives?
I guess threaten.
Why do you say that? Alright, if you look at like rickety of course unsteady, like someone who's swinging. Bias in his gait. You're familiar with gait, a kind of walk. So bias in his gait is still like he's swinging in his gait, like in his walk. The left of the straight line, he somehow inclined, he goes like slanted him to the left of the straight line. Then an empty egg basket. And he was ruffled, past being quite worn away. And then stride person like was riding a horse. And there is a kind of female horse. So, like the way he was walking is more like expresses tiresome, right? So we can say this tone is more like expresses the hardship of life, the hardship of that person's life. This doesn't make sense. Okay. So now we have an activity. If you have pen and piece of paper, please, and use this one. So think about a place that you live in, a house, an apartment, or even a room, and pick one of these things and describe your place that you live in. So as we saw in the examples before, so just use the words as they use these adjectives. So talk about your place of living, or maybe you have something else to talk about. Just choosing one of the tones below, like be objective in describing your place of living, or be optimistic, or be humorous in describing your place of living, or something else. So. I'll give you 10 minutes. And please, if you have any questions, just let me know. But your tone in your writing will be one of these, depending on your mood, maybe. Like how can you sound an angry person in your writing while describing your place? Maybe you don't like her place. You don't like your landlord, okay? So you're angry. So show me how angry you are by writing. Be a paragraph or just some lines. No matter. I don't care about the length of your writing. Just use some. If you like, you can choose one of them. You can choose more than one. Let's say you live in an apartment. Okay. So describe your apartment. Be optimistic or angry or sentimental or humorous by describing your apartment. Okay. So it's just like your tone. Describing your apartment by writing. What's the apartment like? Yeah. Okay, I see most of you are done. And if you Do you still have some time? Okay. So now we're going to share what we wrote. So who wants to share and show us what kind of words you use to express your tone of writing? Go ahead, please.
I think like I explained my apartment, like angry apartment.
Okay.
For example, I live in a really nasty apartment. The apartment costs me a lot of money. Every month I have to pay $970. It's very huge amount. The apartment doesn't work. When you sleep in the bed, you feel like in a prison because the wind comes from the window and it's very cold. When you sleep, you wake up in early morning at 2 o'clock because of the rain sound. It's very weird apartment. There is no signal in the apartment. If someone call you, and the phone like doesn't work or something.
Okay, so he was angry about his apartment. Who else is angry about his apartment?
No, it's not true.
Even though. Who else? Please, you're writing for 10 minutes. It's sure. We'll have to go.
Okay, I like my apartment because it's really nice and really loud, and we can't invite other people. They have another problem, and let's organize the room. And I don't like something of that. It cost me like 100, 1,000. That's it.
Okay, so it's
But-
spacious.
Yeah.
So you like
But-
it.
Yeah.
But it's
I
expensive.
like it, but
Okay. Who else? Okay, Ben.
I'm excited in my place, what I live, because my roommate is famous and a good person, and each other like to help. Also, our apartment is not dirty like what I live, the first apartment. And we don't like to see something on the floor. And for example, I lived with a person who was dirty man, and he didn't clean anything, and I haven't seen him. He cleaned his clothes or something like that.
Okay. So, more is it objective or what?
Excited.
Excited. Okay. Who else? Okay, please.
Unfortunately, the town that I live in is frustrating place. I feel angry because there are not much an entertainment in this town all around it. However, I try my best to have an exciting time in my house, so I try so that I got all I need for all my friends.
Alright, good. Please. Share with us. Please, yeah.
My tone is angry tone. My tuition is my past work. You know, my place, which is I used to live when I was young, was really hot and small. I always wanted to stay inside my room because it's too really hot. It was really hard to went to go outside. However, there was nothing to play with me at my small and hot room, so I was filled up with angry and lazy at the time. There was no movement at all without my mother who wanted me to move. At the time, I was no dream and no hope. There are no hope. There are no hope. That hot and small place made me very insecure. Sometimes when I want to feel, I want to do nothing, I can recall my small and hot room get increased from that experience.
Very good. But you were frustrated and angry, both, right? So how could I tell that he was frustrated and angry? Can you, from the words he used?
Hopeless.
Sorry?
He said he was hopeless.
Okay. So this indicates that he was frustrated. Okay. So who wants to go next? Please, guys, you just wrote, just share with us. Okay, can you?
Melbourne was a beautiful place where everyone have a chance to talk with each other and discuss different topics. Furthermore, all my neighbors know each other, so we can a big family.
Okay. So you were happy about your place? Okay. Okay.
There's something that in the way, but that's me, don't give up. Nothing gets you in the way unless you give it to you. There are some challenges that seem bigger than you. You always try to get it, but if you want to. If you cannot stop smiling, that means you cannot stop dreaming.
Okay. So you were.
Probably optimistic.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Who else wants to share with us? No? Okay. Then we have another activity. But this one, we have 3 pictures. So, photos express some kind of feelings, some kind of ideas. So I want you to describe these photos, at least with the 3 words. So here is the first photo. So what is the tone of this photo?
So,
Oh, okay, just put it on paper. At least using 3 words. Please go.
if you want that as a sentence.
Just, yeah, like,
Or any words,
just words, no sentences. If you want to write paragraphs, up to you. Just send 3 words describing the tone of this photo.
sad and hungry.
Let's give them some time and then we can share them all.
Oh, all right.
Okay. So, done all of it? So what do you think?
Is sad.
Okay, okay. Who else?
She might be anxiety, like for her future.
So she's anxious
Yeah,
and
sad.
okay. There you go. Okay, go ahead, please.
Beautiful, sad, almost crying.
Almost crying. Okay. Something new.
Should be asleep.
Go ahead, please.
She seems innocent, dry, and sleepy.
Okay. So, do you see the difference from one person to the other person? Like she looks.
Yeah, she looks like sleepy.
Yeah.
Because he is sleepy.
And you said anxious, and he said sad. So the tone is more like subjective, different from one person to the other person. But still, you use some words to describe the tone of what you write, what you feel. So any other ideas? Go ahead.
Maybe she tired
Okay.
or thinking about sleep.
So 3 words. Tired?
Yeah. Sad and thinking.
Okay.
Feeling.
Who else?
Nothing.
Okay. But the tone of the picture, I don't describe like the tone of the picture. This is not like describing the picture. Like what tone can you hear, let's say, when you are looking at this picture?
Bored.
Okay, and? Just work?
She might be shy.
Okay, shy. Okay.
Rich.
No, this is not. Okay, so here's another photo. So please take your time. And with the 3 words, just 3 words, write them down, and then we will share them. Here's the thing, nicety is different from the tone. Like, okay, this is nicety. But what is the tone of this nicety?
Quite,
Sorry?
Quite.
quite,
Okay.
and beautiful.
Okay. Well, okay, go ahead, please.
relaxation, natural, quiet.
Okay. Beautiful place. Shiny, like the tone is, okay. What else? Healthy? Alright. So you can, like, the tone of this picture is just, okay.
Like noise, small sound, relax.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Peaceful.
Peaceful. Okay, good.
Could I say romantic place?
Romantic?
Yeah.
It's up to you. You can't hear this down, so. Of course you can say. Dark. Okay. But there's the moon.
Is it moon or?
This is the moon, yeah. So dark in what way? Like a gloomy way? Okay.
I think relaxing and thinking,
Okay.
happy place.
Happy place. Okay. Do you see the difference from gloomy to happy to romantic to?
See flowers, moon,
Anyone else? Okay, please.
Colorful,
Colorful.
quiet, enjoyable.
Okay. One more? Okay, there is another picture, another photo. So please do the same for this one. Hmm? Okay. So who wants to share? Please.
Optimistic
Okay.
and enjoyable
Uh-huh.
and colorful.
Okay.
Excited?
Okay. That's it?
Beautiful.
Okay.
Happiness? Happy.
Okay, yeah. Like I'm looking for this, like more like the tone, like what you feel, like what can you hear as like I'm repeating myself, what you hear. So this is happy. What else?
Excited.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Like nice smell?
yeah.
Okay.
Like,
But still, here's the thing. All of you, not all of you, it's like some of you, still do not distinguish between the tone and the description of like the tone, how you sound, not how you look. Does it make sense? So, like, let's say the tone of this, like, what gives you, what can you hear when you are looking for this? Or if you want to describe this, what tone can you use to describe this?
Colorful, relaxing.
Okay, here's the thing. Can you please write just a few sentences about this one so we can share them and we hear your tone and write it? Can you please? Are you done? So please, who wants to share? Okay, let's hear your tone.
Colorful and thinking and beautiful. And I like colorful because the flower looks very colorful and happiness. Thinking, it's by looking at the flower, it makes your mind to think for something that you want in your life by looking at the flower. Beautiful, it's when you have a beautiful flower, it makes the place more enjoyable to live in.
Okay. It's okay, but here's the thing. Like when you describing this photo, let's say your tone is not just saying that it makes you feel. Like let me hear it in your writing. Like express it in your writing. So instead of saying let you, just say like this photo is, let's say, exciting, colorful, it feels like this, it gives you what, you know? So more like express it in your writing, not just describe it. Like as you saw in the previous paragraphs, He said like the man was rickety, he was like the steaming smell or something, right? So these descriptions, like from them you got the feeling that this was a tired man. This was like the tone was tone of hardship. The tone was mysterious tone. So who else? Okay.
It is looking excited and happy and optimistic. When I smell it, I feel like fresh because it's nice smell.
Okay. Well. Oh, please.
Happiness, nice smelling. I'm not sure about the third one, but I would say attentionable.
Sorry.
It gets your attention.
Oh, okay.
Attentionable, I guess.
Okay. Let's get your attention. Okay.
Love. Love.
Oh yeah? So that's it? So like this is monotone, this is boring tone. Right? Just said nothing, so just a black and flower. So this is boring tone. What else?
It might give you like a lot of hope
Uh-huh.
when you look at the flower.
Uh-huh. So optimistic maybe, yeah. So, and Tom, what do you think? So, do you think tone is important in writing or not?
Yes.
Why is that?
You express your feeling when you write something that you really want to share about it.
Just to let your reader how you feel.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Show people, you can see how people feel from what they wrote.
So let's say if you read something, do you feel that? Do you feel like how the writer would sound? Yeah?
I guess what I write in the original paper with the song.
Okay. So here's the thing, what about academic writing? How does it sound? What is the tone of the academic writing?
It depends on the topic that it give you like more attention that you will express your feeling about it. When it's like topic that you want to share with people that
You want to say something? You want to say something?
Yeah, I say serious.
Like serious tone? Like how come? Can you please
As you-
elaborate something?
You arrive to, I don't know, serious.
Yeah? Why do you say it's serious? Like why is the tone of academic writing is serious?
Because you didn't express your feeling in academic life.
So, it
You
shouldn't.
just-
So,
you just take it
according to
seriously.
him, he says like academic writing shouldn't express your feelings. Everybody agrees on with that, or do you have different opinions?
I'm not agree because if you write something, you're gonna say a feeling like why you write it.
Sorry.
I say, I'm not agree because I want to see your feeling while I'm reading your writing.
Yeah.
I guess your feeling.
But we're talking about academic writing, right? We're talking about facts, the Socratic facts, being neutral. So, still? What else? Like, what is the nature of academic writing?
Source.
Sorry?
Sources.
Yeah.
The different research.
Yeah?
So,
background.
good.
Okay, please just let me finish my real back.
Like when we look at the research, and like many different people share or add point to this research.
Oh, yeah?
So it's hard to put the feeling or the emotion for that, right?
So what you say is that academic writing is natural, neutral, no feelings.
Okay.
Okay. You want to say something?
Yeah, backgrounds and information, experiences that you got from your life.
Alright. So you agree with him?
Yeah.
But we when you like read a story or novel, you're gonna feel it
Okay.
like a story, like a movie. It's almost poetic.
So technically that's about it about tone. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
Plus here.
What? Okay. But what was not that okay? You were giving the class.
Well,
Okay.
the vocabulary part,
Sorry?
the vocabulary part,
Yeah? What's wrong with it?
we didn't, like, I didn't get all the vocabulary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you didn't say anything. I
Yeah.
asked these, okay. Okay, here's the first one. So, which one?
Like, Lemmy,
Which one?
Lemmy?
Lammy is kind of cold. What's cold? Like Neddy.
Instantly, cold, like the adjective.
Oh,
Tense.
Intensely.
intense. Intense. Something condensed. Something, let's say crowded in a sense. Does it make sense? Oh, what else?
Steam?
Steamed, that's from steam, like vapor, vaporized. Vapor, you know vapor?
Yes.
Okay. Like the same paragraph about the same one.
Ripples.
Which one?
Ripples. Air and ripples. The fourth one, the fifth one. Like, so the air and ripples. Ripples or what?
Through the air and
Through the
ripples.
air and
Ripples.
ripples.
Aaron Ripple is still, he's talking about, how do I put it? He talks about more like the condition of the air and being dewy. Familiar with dewy? Like misty and dewy? Does it make sense? Okay. What about the other one? This was the other. We talked about this, right? Okay. So what about this one? Is there any?
You this like
Okay.
almost at the end.
Okay.
It's for the last one.
So this one?
Sure.
What's wrong? This is the nest and there's
Yeah.
the wall, so that's okay?
Thank you very
So that's about it.